Hello everybody. Okay, hi to Jane and hi to Rachel. So we're here today. We're talking about. We're going to talk in a moment about Jane and Rachel's new venture, the Growing Club. But I wanted to kick off by talking to you about just telling you a little story quickly of something that happened to me a couple of years ago. I was in the car with my niece, and she'd been to stay at our house. We were taking her home, and she just had a school report. She was 6 years old, so she was only very young, but she'd had a glowing report from school, and it was excellent. I said to her, so Evie, what do you want to be when you grow up? This is great. You know, what do you want to do? She said, I really want to be a nurse. I said, well, that's fantastic. You know, nursing is a wonderful vocation. And I think you'd make a fabulous nurse. You're such a caring person and you're very bright. But let me ask you, Evie, why do you want to be a nurse? Why don't you want to be a doctor? And she said to me, don't be silly, Uncle Dan. Girls are nurses, boys are doctors. And it struck a chord. It really hit me. And, you know, I just thought how sad it was that a girl of 6 years old was kind of already getting into the mindset that when she grew up, she was already being pigeonholed in a certain type of career. And it is like that. And I think things are changing now. We're starting to slowly see some very prominent leaders in the world, in business and in politics, some really prominent female leaders. But I think we still need more, and there's plenty that's still to be done to help women to break through the glass ceiling and to get into these prominent positions. But it's not just in kind of big industry where it's at. It's also at grassroots level, at ground level, in small business. And here today we've got Rachel and Jane, who are just fantastic role models for going out there and helping women in the community to get started with their businesses. So it's a real privilege for me to be with them and to ask them about what they're doing out in the community for women in business. So Jane, Rachel, thanks a lot. Jane, I wanted to start with yourself. As I've already mentioned, I think that you are more than just a role model for women in business in general. I certainly look at you as somebody in a similar space to you, as a business that I look up to, and I'm sure that there'll be other people there. So I'd love for you to share with us how you got started on your journey in business.
Okay, well, first of all, welcome to Girlgate. I always have to plug Girlgate.
Hello, Golga.
The rural areas, really important what's going on in the rural areas. How did I get started in business? Well, I hurt my shoulder, so I recommend.
Hurting your shoulder?
Yeah. You know, I think there's just this thing where if you don't pay attention to what you need, your body kicks in. And I ripped my shoulder at work, and I was in a very stressful job, an hour up and down the motorway, a single mom, and while I was off with my shoulder because I couldn't drive, I just thought I want to be at home. That was it. Yeah. That was my motivation for business. I want to be at home, and then I thought, what can I do to work from home? And at that time, this opportunity was coming up to train in social media. Everyone was going, no, don't do that. So I did that, and I got it. I got what was going to happen with social media, forcing transparency and accountability, and we were well in need of that. That had slipped off the agenda, and I love what's happened. So that was it. That was my motivation, and I found something that worked for me and created it that way. And then from there I saw that actually small businesses needed to do it in-house, and I'm an adult trainer, so I started experimenting and training people. So 6 years on now.
Did you have that background in training beforehand then? That was...
Yeah, my background is actually I'm a youth and community worker.
Right.
Working in not-for-profit sector.
Yeah.
So the irony of the not-for-profit sector, and I thought businesses were, you know, corrupt, weird, the private sector, I thought it was terrible. Because that was kind of, I don't know where I got that mindset from. So to move into the private sector was really interesting. jump for me. And what did you ask me?
Was it training?
Oh, yeah. So, as a youth and community worker, I was in policy and training at the point when I left.
Yeah.
A qualified adult trainer, and I love training. I love it.
And I think you're right. You know, as you say, that there's having that skill set already there, but then also understanding that there's this change in the world, in this kind of groundswell of wanting to deal with people who are authentic and transparent. Absolutely, perfect for it.
Yeah.
So Rachel, over to you then. So you've been on your journey as well.
Mm-hmm.
How's life changed for you since you've become self-employed in the last 18 months? Is it a year, 18 months or so?
Yeah. I've been self-employed for the last 2.5 years, but only in terms of not being in the senior management role that I was in as a learning disability nurse for the past year, I'd say, just over a year, when my little girl was born. And I think it was getting older, really, and because when my son was born 7 years ago, my background's a learning disability nurse, and I was still climbing the ladder, if you will.
Yeah.
So very passionate about what I was doing, and wanting those promotions. So I was quite happy to work 24-hour shifts.
Yeah.
You know, spending a lot of time away from my little boy in order to get those things, and you get those things, and then you realise, oh, it's what am I missing out on at home, and so starting my own business within the health and wellness and being a network marketer, if you will. Then once I'd matched my wage, really, then I realised I could be more flexible, have those choices, baby girl, spend more time, family, friends, do the things I want to do. So, and it's what brought me to Jane, effectively.
So I think a part of it is how you define success there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the big money. It's not just about, but it's about actually finding something that you're good at, but also suits a lifestyle as well, and hopefully those opportunities are out there for more and more people, and particularly women, which brings us on nicely to the Growing Club. Tell us all about the Growing Club. Where's this come from, and what is it? Where are we at?
Well, I'll let you go because it's your brainchild, isn't it?
It is my brainchild.
It's your brainchild.
The bottom line is, it's something that I wanted for me. I'd accessed coaching and hadn't found something that worked for me. I hadn't found a coach that understood my needs. The bottom line was, all my coaches had a wife, and so they didn't get that juggling. Single mom, running a business, cleaning out the guinea pigs, blah blah blah, and it led me first of all to write the Superwomen of Lancashire.
Yeah, absolutely,
which is great. So I was gathering stories of women and in business and the range of roles that they have.
Yeah.
And that still wasn't talked about in business education. So I went on business education training, and it was so male focused. And I get that because business was male.
Yeah.
It not horrible, it just is how it is. And I just thought, okay, we need something different, and I need something different. And I was at an FSB conference and sat in on a seminar, Aston University, to run a peer mentoring group. And I thought, oh, that's what I want. I want a peer mentoring group. And I was asking, and I couldn't get any traction on it. So I thought, sod it, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to do it and see what happens, and see here's the talk and the talk, and see if it can work.
Yeah.
And Rachel was up for that, and we just made this plan of a group. It's a 12-month commitment for women that are determined to grow their business, but don't reach the boost. So I don't know if you people know about boost, but boost is for high growth. It's great funding, but it's aimed at high growth businesses.
Yeah.
Now the women we deal with put a lot of money back into the economy,
Of course.
but are not getting the support. So that's who it's aimed at. The women that are determined to grow, very committed to their business, and it's a 12-month. It's a 12-month commitment. We meet monthly, and in between they meet with a buddy, and there's taught input on all the core issues of running a business. And the thing for me, and this is my youth and community background, it's the group work.
Yeah.
And it's the group work that's the key. So having a one-to-one coach is great, and I've got my own coach, and I love her. But working in a group, just magic happens, really.
And that accountability partner that they've got as well.
Yeah.
They're going away, and that's been massive for all of them, I think, for the women that have been working with us anyway since February.
I think that this is it for me. You know, this idea of the whole kind of, you know, peer learning is just it's a powerful thing anyway, isn't it? But bringing people together in a room, letting them sit down, letting them talk through things, and having a trusted group of people that you can really kind of feed off.
Yeah.
That's incredibly powerful. And just coming back to your note of what you're saying about Boost and these other business support schemes that are out there, you know, they're great for the businesses that qualify for them, but those that don't, you know, what's out there? What else is there? And I often feel frustrated for people in our neck of the woods, particularly North Lancs, because we have a different ecosystem of businesses around here, and lifestyle businesses are important. That doesn't mean we should be detrimented because we don't. Of course, the lifestyle businesses put back into the local community. There should be functions to support them. So, you know, absolutely, from my point of view, bravo on that.
Okay, it really interests me that you say lifestyle businesses, because I really rant against that.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. No, you're right.
No, it's great that you've said it, because normally it's said about women. So my office is in my home. Why the heck wouldn't I have my office in my home? Why, when I'm starting out, would I pay rent that I don't need to pay?
Absolutely.
And yet we are dismissed as lifestyle businesses. But we put a lot of money back into the local economy, like you said.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you use it, because I hear it as a detrimental comment.
Yeah.
But actually, you're right. It's how we choose to raise our children and pay for the roof over our head and put food on the table.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it? You know, I think that, I suppose the term is so ingrained in business speak, isn't it? But you're absolutely right. You know, it often is kind of said with a negative connotation, and it shouldn't be. No. It should be something that's celebrated. So yeah. So if anybody picks up and is watching and sees you talking on here, Jane, Rachel, how can they get in touch? How can they get involved? What can they do to get involved in the Growing Club?
Well, we're just setting up our website, which is actually live now.
Great.
Needs a bit of tinkering with, but that's at www.thegrowingclub.co.uk. Okay. You can also access the Growing Club on Facebook and on Twitter.
Yep.
Under, is that Jane and Rachel at the Growing Club?
It's the Growing Club.
Yeah, the Growing Club. Just pop that into the search bar, and all our details are basically on all those social media platforms.
We have so we've been running the first group since April. March.
No, February.
March.
Taster session February, yeah.
We had a taste in February, and then 10 women signed up. They pay for themselves. We subsidise it, but they pay. 10 women signed up. They're 6 months in now, and we start a second group in October. So this first group with the guinea pigs, they knew that.
Yeah.
Group 2 starts in October, and we have a taster for that in September. But the group's nearly full, actually.
Yeah. Right, brilliant.
So that's great. But then Rachel and I are here together today. We're launching a community interest company, social enterprise, so that we can run the same provision for women in the community, women that are socially excluded,
disabilities, survivors of domestic violence, come from prison.
Yeah.
Great.
And single mums. We're put down a lot.
Absolutely.
Actually, we're pretty focused on what we're doing.
Absolutely.
But we're also just talking with the domestic violence support provision in the district. They're very, very keen to get this going.
Good.
So we're just doing that right now, and the social enterprise should be up and running by the end of the year.
Brilliant.
So if there are women in the community that want to do this, then get in touch with us.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that. There's obviously a lot of positive stuff going on. If you are a woman in the community looking for support, then Jane and Rachel are the people to talk to. Likewise, if you're out there, guys in the community, and you know a woman who wants to get started, give her the support and point her in that direction as well. And let's do our best to really support great initiatives like this across North Lancashire to get run up and running. Okay, so thank you. If anyone's got any questions, post them. I'll redirect them to Jane and Rachel. Thanks for you that have been watching. Annie Sutcliffe says hi, Jane and Rachel.
Hello, Annie Sutcliffe. So a question before you go, Daniel, question.
Yeah.
The Growing Club is for women. We set that up deliberately because of our roles. But we are wondering about whether or not a mixed gender group would work. What are your thoughts?
I think there's definitely space out there for people that are starting out in business. I think there's a real challenge right now across, particularly our region. I think there's a challenge for a lot of business owners, not just women, who perhaps not feel excluded from business support, but just don't know how to find it sometimes. And so there's definitely space to engage not just women, but also guys as well, to let them know that they can do these things and they can get started in business. So the more that we talk about this and we raise the conversation, then definitely I think there's a space for what you're doing across the genders. Okay, Annie, have you got anything you'd like to ask, by the way?
Is she still there?
If you're still there, I think you might be. Okay. We'll leave it there. But thanks very much. Thank you, everybody, and please support the Growing Club. Thanks very much. All the best. Bye bye. Bye bye.